Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's my pleasure to open the November full council meeting, being the last Tuesday of the month. It's also my pleasure to, on behalf of my fellow councillors and council staff, to thoroughly thank the Pouakani marae people, congratulate them on this beautiful marae that's just risen out of the ashes from some 5 or 6 years ago. I think you should be totally admired and congratulated for what you've done here. It's truly magnificent. I'd go so far as to say it's probably one of the most beautiful maraes in Aotearoa. So thank you very, very much for allowing us to come here today and hold our council meeting. We do like to cover our whole district, Turangi, Taupo and Mangakino, one of the nicest places in the district. So thank you for your marae committee and all your people for feeding us today and welcome us onto your marae. Before we officially go into this council meeting, I would like to call on Kaumātua Dave Dix to say a karakia. So, sorry? No, kia ora. Kia ora, Dave, sorry. We do normally webcam our meetings, so we've brought webcam to your beautiful marae. Hope you don't mind, to record accurately the events that happen in the council meeting. So, Kaumātua Dix, if you'd like to come forward up here to do your karakia would be great, because then we would have the pleasure of having you on our recorded system.
The last two items of the agenda, the public has been asked if they would leave the meeting on the last 2 minutes agenda minutes.
Thank you very much, Kaumātua. It's when we later in the afternoon, when we go into confidence, it's not polite for us to ask people to leave their own marae. So thank you very, very much for that. And again, a big heartfelt thank you from all my fellow councillors and council staff to come here today on such a beautiful day to such a beautiful place. Again, a heartfelt congratulations from all of us for what you have done in the last 5 or 6 years. You are to be commended and congratulated, and you should feel proud. So without any further ado, I will call for apologies, and I have one from council. Oh, my apologies. Get nervous in front of the camera. And unfortunately, one of our councillors has had a very short stay in hospital, but he's on his way home now. So a big apology from Councillor Crate. Could I have a mover, please? Moved, Councillor Downard, seconded Councillor Kirk. All those in favour? Aye, thank you very much. So we'll move straight away to a presentation from Ms. Gay Vatiatin down there. I see her down there. And for those who don't know, she is the daughter of that very famous gentleman that owns Kitanui Deer Farm, Mr. Murray Matuska. So I will hand over to you, Ms. Vatiatin, and you're doing a presentation about your ADDI consultancy.
Yep.
The floor is yours, my friend.
So kia ora koutou. So ADDI perhaps initially naively began from a passion of mine of getting it right for every child in Taupo. So ADDI stands for Advocating for Diversity, Difference and Inclusion I guess the challenges for me is passion alone won't make a successful business. I've had to learn a lot about business. So we're focused on helping all youth in Taupō, and all the staff that I employ are fully qualified teachers. But we're particularly interested in the three priority groups of the Ministry of Education: Māori, Pacifica and moderate learning needs. So I have been in education for 32 years, and while I've been in working in schools, and I think prior to that too, Māori, Pacifica and moderate learning needs have continued to be the priority group, and nothing is changing. And after meeting with the Ministry of Education, their goal is to get excellent schools, but I say we can't afford to let another generation go through. We cannot sacrifice another generation. So what are you doing here? You're going to play this now. Okay, so we just have a small item here.
Just for you carry on as well, Gay, and I know you don't mind me calling you Gay, also a big welcome to your Marguerite Morris. A big welcome to you too. I apologise, Marguerite. At first I thought you were one of our council staff helping Gay set up her, so I apologise to you and welcome.
Can you turn that up? And so he throws a flare, giving the image that he's going to rescue these people. So many of our students go into school every day, and they go and they battle just like in the song here. Not because the schools aren't doing a good job. I believe that the ministry is going to have to do a lot of different things to engage with our students. So we've got kids that come from backgrounds like this and are wired differently. The thing that my son is, he's Asperger's, attentional deficit, dyslexic, but he's doing extremely well and coming top in his year. And that the reason why he's coming top is because I've got money. And I paid for extra help and got him up there. And so today the presentation is about equity we are currently setting up a trust in Taupo to where people can go and access funds to get support for their children. Did you know that I've done this to you before, but we're paying $92,000 a year for a prisoner, and $92,000 a year putting into youth would get rid of a lot of our social problems. Too many men, and this is a problem in our society, find themselves in jobs they hate and don't have the choice because they haven't got the career options, or they're committed with kids and having to provide for them, they can't retrain. I had a young man who came to me who was excluded from school. He was 14 years of age, and he came in, and I said, "Why are you kicked out of school?" And he was kicked out of school because he nutted off at the teacher. And I said, "Why did you nut off at the teacher?" And he said, "Because she was yelling at me." And I said, "Why was she yelling at you?" And he said, "Because I wasn't doing my work." And he was 14, and I said, "Well, why weren't you doing your work?" And when I assessed him, his reading age was 5.5, and he was in a college classroom, and he just couldn't cope. And I said, "Why don't you tell a teacher you can't do it?" But he's so ashamed. He's so ashamed. So yes, we have our beautiful Hugh Street, which I love, and thank you for that, but we have this undercurrent of where we've got issues. So Taupo has the highest rate of teen pregnancies, which you will be aware of, and it also has the highest rate of students leaving schools with no qualifications. So I've met with WINS, and we've got 360 youths on their books with low self-esteems, with low literacy, no qualifications, and this is the area that I'm really interested in. I talk about this boy, this Māori boy. We managed to get him back in school, and he had a 5.5 reading age. There was no orientation when he got back into school, and he was outside his classroom looking at his timetable. He had a 5.5 reading age, so he was really struggling. And this Pākehā teacher came along and said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I'm just trying to find out where I'm supposed to go." And instead of her helping him, she said, "Well, you better hurry up about it." And he told her where to go and was excluded again. So we've got to have an understanding around these kids and work with in a different way. It was totally inappropriate the way he dealt with the issue, but given the right opportunities, he could succeed. A wonderful model is Tauhara North. Māori Trust Board pay for all the owners' children from the tip of the North Island to the bottom of the South Island to have tutoring, and they start at the age of 4.5. And I have those children reading and writing by the time they start school. So that's a wonderful initiative on Tauhara North. WINS we're working with because they've got so many on their role in those comments I've done, Mark. If you can read, you can do anything. If your education is equality. So our schooling in New Zealand is, we've got high quality teaching, but low equity. So I'm just reiterating the fact that because my son had difficulties and I paid for tutoring and paid for all these things, he's doing well. And I have children coming to me needing help, but parents who can't afford it. And one teacher and 30 children, doesn't make sense to me when there's difficulties that can address the matter. Some students still need one-on-one. So what we're asking today is we have written to the council a letter requesting some relief from the rates, because as I say, I've set up this business on passion, and I've had to learn a really good business head. But just while we're getting started and getting funding from the ministry, we want your support. We want to work with your engagement team and find ways around us. And as I've said, we're setting up this trust so that we can make it doable. We're not coming to you asking for money. We want to work in partnership with you and the other organisations. But I do find with all the NGOs, all the organisations, it comes down to when you're providing support, a lack of funding, and that it's hopefully with this setting up this trust, we'll be able to deal with some of these issues. So that was just to work in partnership and consider our requests for relief from rates.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, and I'm picking up on here, I didn't know what you were coming to present in total about today, Gay. I hope you don't mind me calling you that. Gay rents that building on, and I'm presuming this what you're talking about. Gay rents that building opposite the school that used to be years ago the Taupo Club. Then it was RDA, I think accountants. Sorry. DPA accountants, and she rents that building and works out of there, and so I guess that you're asking for rates for admission on that particular property? Okay, just to get some clarity. So how much rates for admission are you asking for on that property?
I think it's 8,000 a year that we're paying rates there, 7,000 to 8,000.
Okay, well I think there is a process to go through for rates for admissions, Mr. Van Henen, please.
That's correct. However, the remission has to be granted to the owner of the building, not the tenant, and it is then we would consider it if the landlord was prepared to enter into an agreement with the tenant, which is yourselves, as to not being required to pay that cost, and then we would look at the remission application from the landlord.
Okay. So if that's clear, so there is a process to go through, and I would suggest if my fellow councillors haven't got any more questions about what your service is and what it does, and I know for the record you do work with my eldest grandson, thank you, and it has helped him greatly because he does have his difficulties, probably inherits them from me. There is a process, and I would suggest going forward from here that between yourselves, your landlord and Mr. Van Henen, perhaps make an appointment with Mr. Van Henen, find out what the process is, and then you can fill in all the forms and go through that remission process to see if it's successful or not. So if that's what you want to do, if there's any further questions from councillors about the services that Mrs. Vartiainen and her team are supplying to the district?
The trust that we're setting up, Keith Crate, Councillor Crate, he's part of that. Yeah.
Cool.
So he'll probably keep you posted on that.
Yeah, well, sadly we haven't got Councillor Crate with us this week, and he's very apologetic for that, but he had to have a little minor operation done, so he's been looked after by others like you look after people. So, okay, so, oops. Yeah?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes?
I'm sure that the community, there were three parts that you were actually asking for in your presentation, which was around rates, working with the community engagement team, and the partnership. I'm sure Mrs. Jakes, one of her team, will be in touch to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that all right?
Yeah. No, yeah, I worry. Okay, so Ms. Vartiainen, Gay, there's actually a resolution here that that the information be received, and you be thanked for your presentation. So if I could have a mover, please. Councillor Minsher and seconded Councillor Johnson. All those in favour? Aye. And yeah, as I say, well, look, we'll be in touch. We also want to engage and work with in partnerships with things in our district, especially that do good for the district. So I think moving forward, yeah, as Mr. Van Henen said, make an appointment perhaps with him or one of his team and get that process underway, and good luck and thank you very much.
Thank you.